Built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion Star Wars Podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and with us is our co-host, Oti, who is back.
I am back.
After, I don't know, a month and a half. Oti, we're finally back, even though we came back last week. We couldn't have you. We had your friend and co-host, Tony was here, but...
Oh, so now he's my friend?
Yes,
I'm doing good. Tired, sad that I'm back. Not here, but sad that I'm back to...
Yeah, just sad you're back in general.
Yeah.
To life.
To life, I guess, yeah. But,
yeah.
Hey, happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back. Last week was a lot of fun, but again, it's always good when you're here. We got a lot to talk about today, mainly Ahsoka, or everything will be Ahsoka. There's really no big Star Wars news out there, at least official news, of course, with the strike. There's no official news out there, just people spouting nonsense about Skeleton Crew. No, it's canceled because it wasn't on that slate. I guess people forgot we're on a 100-day strike so far. So anyway, any Star Wars news out there? I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I haven't seen you. What are you doing?
I was thinking, I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning, but I kind of miss Star Wars. Like,
yeah,
I was doing the Heir to the Empire thing, which I haven't done in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I have to correct myself. Last time I was here, which was a while ago, I said I was reading every 3 weeks. It was like every 3 days.
Well, it made sense. We know that it takes you a little bit, so every 3 weeks kind of made sense.
No, I was trying to read every 3 days or so, but I dropped off. Not that it was bad. I just stopped reading. But I saw Oppenheimer.
There you go. Hey, we gotta see your shirt because you went on Twitter. You said we gotta see that shirt you're bringing today. Wait, I gotta give you a solo layer. There you go. With your Barbenheimer shirt, we has taken off, dude. I know we talked a little bit before it came out, and I cannot say. I think people just want to be part of this just online, but dude, it has blown up, and I guess rightfully so.
Barbie crossed the $1 billion mark, so
pretty quick. So
yep, and they're both pretty good. So I'm happy they're both doing the box office. But yeah, other than that, I started watching a show. I know we're not doing the
War Between Fandoms. We'll get to it.
We're not doing that right now, but I've also been watching a show on Hulu, Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, okay.
It's very good.
Did you just start, or are you catching up? Because right now, season 3 just started this past week.
No, so I started watching a month ago.
Okay.
And I caught up, and I've watched the only 2 episodes of season 3.
It's very good. We watched it, I think, last year after season 2 had come out, or right where season 2 was finishing. I think when we started watching it here. It's one of those staple shows that the whole family here watches.
It's a fun, light show, which I enjoy because I get involved in the mystery. At first it's kind of silly, but then it's who is Tim Kono?
Tim Kono, that bastard. It's a great show. I'm glad that it's back for season 3, which is, like you said, it's very silly, and season 3 just going on.
It's basically watching Martin Short go wild.
Which we gotta love. It's one of my favorites. You mentioned reading. Last week I said that thanks to the people at Star Wars The Ray Random House Books, I got an advanced copy of From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi. I'm still reading it, dude. That book is so long. I got 4 more stories to go. I'm almost done.
It's 4 stories. I reached out to Disney Books a while ago and haven't heard back.
So, dude, it took me 5 different tries in about 2 years to finally get a response, and was thanks to that interview that we did with Lydia Kang that I was able to connect a little bit. But Disney Books, I'll say, I'm extremely happy that Disney Books also sent us Tales of Light and Life and Crimson Reign to review. which, like you said, sometimes you need a break from Star Wars. I need a break because from a certain point of view, it's so long. So I got to start reading those right after.
Those from a certain point of view books I really like read like over the span of a long time because I don't really love them that much. Like,
so I was gonna ask, you've read the previous ones? Because I haven't.
Oh yeah, no, I've read the other two. They're fun, light reading, and they're like adjacent. I know a lot of people get upset, like, oh, now everyone gets to write a story. Okay, sure.
Yeah. We're still under embargo, I think, till next Tuesday or Wednesday, the 15th. So I can't say anything. I'll have my review at some point. Maybe next week we'll do a spoiler-free review of it.
I think I have it pre-ordered. I really want to read the Light on Life book. Like,
yes,
that one. I have the Barnes and Noble one pre-ordered because of the Alicia Wong story. But
cool. All right, so we'll keep reading Star Wars because Phase 3 is about to start again. Hopefully we're ready for it. All right, everyone out there that's joining us today, thanks for being here. If it's your first time, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And if you've been here before, thank you for keep coming back and hit that like button, subscribe, comment. And when you listen to this on the audio podcast later when it releases, just give us a rating, review, all those fun stuff. And dude, we took a bad time to go on hiatus during the summer because our last episode before we went has been our most watched episode ever. Like a lot.
Really?
On average,
the one I was stuck in a closet.
Yes, go to your closet, get out of your house. Dude, on average, and I don't talk numbers, but you can go on YouTube and see how many views we have. On average, we get between 40 and 60, and then I'm happy, extremely happy. 445 views, I think. And then I clipped out that 10-minute spoiler-free of Rise of the Red Blade, almost at 200 views just that by its own. And then we went on break for a month, and now we're back to like 30 views because we lost our chance. I don't know.
Wow. What did we talk about? Oh,
it was
I know why. It was because of Zack Snyder and Rebel Moon. Okay. I get it.
All right. Dude, who's out there in the chat before
I love Batman versus Superman, so you can come watch. Okay, who's in the chat? Let's go. We have Skywalker Academy.
Dale? What's Dale doing today?
He was here like a little while ago. I think he's taking a nap for what he said. We also have Scaris Scuttlebutt Podcast. Hello there.
Bro.
Tony is in the chat.
Ooh, Tony's back.
Hi, Tony. What's up? Let's see. Ooh, Brennan's in the chat. Remember to speculate responsibly. We will. Well, okay, no. I speculate very irresponsibly, but I'm like the kind of person who can put my speculation in a little box and put it away. So, but we're gonna have fun. And of course, we have Mo. Hola, primos. Hola, prima. I know she's watching the Women's World Cup, which has been very intense and very hard to watch because it's 5 a.m. 3 a.m.
The game this morning, I woke up early today, around 7, because my dogs woke me up. And that game this morning was pretty intense. Went all the way.
Yeah, well, I wanted to like pay closer attention to it, but it's like very, very early in the morning, so I haven't been able to be caught up with it as I wanted to. But go Spain.
Go Spain. That's my team right now also. All right. As we said last week, and we'll keep doing this for as long as we need to, hopefully not too long, we're going to have down there on the little crawl, whatever you want to call it, scrolling down there, all the places you can reach out to help the WGA and the S and SAG for during the strike. And of course, this is also on the description of our video. We talked last time why we decided to keep doing the show, even though we support 100% all the actors and writers out there. And we also understand the other shows that decided not to do anything at the moment. It's all fine. We find all our different ways to support actors and writers out there. Mm-hmm. All right, Oti, if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars. And today is all about Ahsoka. Ahsoka. I don't know. We need a song for it.
Ahsoka Tano.
Is she a master? Will she train Sabine, who's now Force-Sensitive, and people are going crazy?
Once a Jedi, now on the run.
Always a rebel, once a rebel, but she says she wasn't a Jedi. What are we singing?
Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker.
Oh man, should just do again. I'll talk about Star Trek real quick. Strange New World a few weeks ago did a musical episode. We should do a musical episode here. You play your guitar and I'll sing a weird song, and you'll sing over it. Should do an intro for Ahsoka.
What?
All right, Oti. Ahsoka's coming out in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, a week and a half. It's been promoted heavily, I would say. There's about 2 full trailers, a bunch of TV spots, Twitter every week, every couple of days. Star Wars drops a new 20-second clips. There was one yesterday about like 30 seconds, get to know Ahsoka. Another one.
I haven't watched the one where we see Ahsoka and Sabine training. I think it was this morning that I saw like pictures of that.
Mm.
And I was like, what is this? Oh, but I like couldn't find it immediately, so I like forgot about it until right now.
Oh man, it's not like we're doing a show about it, which is fine because one of my questions it gets answered by that clip. I'm like, okay, then what am I even doing this show? But it's Ahsoka training with Sabine. Let's start right there. Let's start. Where does this actually? No, let's go in order. How excited are you for a new Star Wars show? You said you're missing Star Wars. You're ready for new Star Wars. Are you ready for this in 2 weeks?
I am beyond excited for this. I'm very, very, very happy it's coming. I'm sad it's still 2 weeks. I wanted to be this week, but I'm very, very excited for it. Everything that I've seen just continues to hype me up for the show. Mm-hmm. So I'm over the moon.
Yeah, I said before, I've been up and down with this show. First, I wasn't too into it. The first trailer blew me away. Love everything I saw. I'll be honest, the second trailer, which came out, I think, like 2 days after our last show or before we went on break, didn't captivate me as much as the first one because it was very Rebels focused, let's say. It was like, we know, and I understand this is a continuation of Rebels. I like that the first trailer didn't focus so much on that. I don't know what noises you're doing over there.
I disregard.
That's fine. So then the second trailer, which a lot of people love because we got a lot of Sabine, a lot of her, a lot of Chopper. It's like, that's why, oh man, we're just going back to Rebels. I want all the new stuff. But now that closer we're getting to it, like yourself, I'm getting ready and excited for more Star Wars. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek, which I love. But I started like, okay, it's been enough. I need Star Wars back in my life, so I'm excited for what's coming. But where does this show start? We've talked a little bit before. There might be time changes. Is it gonna be flashbacks? Are we starting right after that Rebels finale before the epilogue? Is it gonna be like Obi-Wan that we're just on our main storyline and does flashbacks? Or do you think we start quote unquote in the past in the Rebels time period and then jump to this Mandalorian timeline? So
I've been thinking a lot about this. If it were like up to me, it would start like immediately when she and Ezra split up in the World Between Worlds.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that would be like a cool place to start. But that's if it was like up to me. I know a lot of people have not watched Rebels. I know a lot of people have not watched Clone Wars who will be like, yeah, this is the girl from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So I think the show will lean more into that. And I think it will maybe start either like in the Jedi episode, like somewhere around the time, or when we see her in Book of Boba Fett with Din, somewhere like around those areas, I think.
When you mean in that Rebel scene, you mean right as she's going up down the whatever mountain, whatever, how she gets out of that planet. That'll be interesting, but same things like people won't know, but would they even know anyway? Do you think we'll get, and I'm gonna say no, when before Obi-Wan started, we got all that kind of recap from the prequel trilogy. Do you think we might get something with Clone Wars and Rebels, or because it's animated, they just want to keep those separate? Which a lot of people have complained that every time they do a recap, this is Ahsoka, they don't go back to her in the animated series.
I will join that complaint because I did watch that video Rosario Dawson came out and talked about the character. no clips from animation, zero clips. And it's weird because it's not Lucasfilm being like, oh yeah, that's from the cartoons, because
Yeah.
it's the same guy who made the
Yeah,
cartoon.
exactly. Yeah.
So I could see them doing that at the beginning. I love that they did it for Kenobi, and it was weird
Oh,
because it's movies which we've watched a billion times.
you still got us so hyped.
And that's precisely why, like, do like a 3-minute sizzle reel of, you know, building up to how
Yeah.
Ahsoka got to this point. That'd be like, I could get chills out of it.
Yeah, it will be interesting, and it will put a lot of those people's kind of calm them down a little bit. Like, okay, they didn't do it in the promo or in the actual shows. I'm gonna say they're not going to do it because it kind of breaks what they've been doing so far. I don't know where this show's gonna start or how they're gonna do these different time periods. Maybe it starts like after Rebels or something, and and it just keeps going forward and just meets up with the Mandalorian timeline. Because I keep going back to Sabine, right? We see a lot of Sabine with the long hair doing a lot of stuff, and then we see when she cuts her hair in one of the trailers. But one of the trailers or the TV spots, we see that she's fighting Shin, one of these dark side users, when she has long hair, and then she's fighting her again when she has short hair. So of course they've met up before. How, we don't have no idea. Also, when Sabine and Ahsoka meet in Lothal, she has long hair, probably cuts it before they leave there. And also this training, because she's like, oh, you left me, you didn't finish my training, all that conversation. When did this happen? Are we gonna see that, or is it just gonna be a mention and imagine what happened?
I kind of think, and so it's very interesting because when you go back and look at Rebels, we don't really see Ahsoka much with the Rebels crew. We see her with Kanan and Ezra, but we don't really see her interact that much with Hera and Sabine. So I think it would be interesting. You know, I think a lot of people are banking on that moment of, you know, Ahsoka and Sabine, that the ending of Rebels being like the beginning of the new adventure. What if that's like the middle point of the story? Like what if, like, I think a lot of people think that's like their big meetup again. What if it happens like a little bit before, and then we have that moment where, like, okay, let's go look for Ezra. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm similar because again, I keep in that Rebels epilogue, we have Ahsoka the White. Sabine has her short hair. She's looking over that rebuild Lothal. But here, when the ships come in and we see Sabine in that speeder, which is a great shot, that Top Gun shot her on the speeder with the X-wing, not the, it's a new one, a D-wing or whatever it is.
E-wing, I don't know.
It just looks cool. But this is not the ending to Rebels. This happens before then. So that meeting has to happen. It looks like it happens. So maybe it's like you said, they meet up before for some reason, again, I don't know why there's this training going on. And then they meet up again, like you said, halfway through it. Do you think...
there's so much lingering, interesting questions. Like,
yeah. I'm going to highlight real quick 2 things. First, our friend Buck, just because he says he's got to drop out. Buck, I know Alti told you you're coming for one of our Ahsoka recaps, so we gotta get that squared up. And Brandon, that you mentioned before, he'll be here for our first recap for the first 2 episodes. But Ro over at Scuttlebutt Podcast asks, I'm curious how they're going to do their recap stuff to catch casual fans up to the story after a bunch of seasons of Rebels. Do you think this is gonna be a problem for the normies, the casual fans that don't know Ahsoka just from Book of Boba Fett and Mando? Are they going to be like you say, oh yeah, this is the girl from Mandalorian, let's keep going?
No problem whatsoever. I think it's a good point to jump in. If I mean, go back and watch Clone Wars and Rebels because they are great shows. But I think it's interesting because of what I just mentioned. Like, we don't know anything. Even us, like diehard Rebels fans, we don't know anything about the relationship between these 3 people. And I think it's pretty easy to set up that Sabine, Hera's kind of like a mother figure to Sabine in a way.
Yeah.
But I always get a little bit grumpy when people like get a little bit pretentious because they watch a show that someone else hasn't. Oh,
Yeah.
they don't know that Sabine built this machine that kills Mandalorians and then felt bad about it and got exiled. Like, that's probably not relevant to this story. That was relevant to that story. So I don't think it'll be a problem. And also Ahsoka, I think it's a very interesting moment because we know we're gonna deal with. I think there's gonna be a little bit of an identity crisis. What is she? What is her role in this world, for lack of a better word? And so and the whole Jedi thing to me is so interesting. Like, well, I didn't identify with that institution, but that institution is gone. Maybe I can help build it. Like, so I think it's a good jumping on point.
Yeah, I understand when people say, "Oh, they'll watch this," and then they'll say, "Whoa, what happened before? Who's this Sabine character? Let me go back and watch Rebels and find out." I don't know if that actually happens. And talking for my experience, I know everyone's different, but in my household, when we're watching something and, oh, who's that? She's from this other show. They're like, hey, I don't care. I'm not going to go watch 4 seasons on a different show just to. And some people will, but I don't think it's enough to say, oh, people will just go back and watch it. They should, because Rebels is one of the best things out there. But
I'll say maybe like 20% of the people who watch the show that haven't watched Rebels will go back and watch it.
Yeah. But I think I don't think it should lean too much on it, even though it is a continuation of Rebels. Most of the people, and I'm sorry to say it, most people follow live action shows and they'll know her from Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. And that's how it will connect to most of them. So it'll be cool. But again, we'll see how it happens. I mean, Filoni is one that goes crazy with all his stuff. So
it will connect because it's not like we're gonna act like that never happened. But
so okay, and it better not, because we're gonna everything's. Do you think they're gonna repeat some of the beats of Rebels, like Sabine?
100%.
You haven't seen. You say you haven't seen that clip of Sabine training with Ahsoka, but we've already seen Sabine train with Kanan how to be a Jedi and use the lightsaber. So we're repeating those beats.
100%.
There is something out about the world between worlds and how it affects Ahsoka that I think is repeating some of the same beats with Ezra in World Between Worlds. So it's just to get people kind of, okay, this is what kind of happened out there, and we're just showing it to you in a different way.
Again, because I don't think they expect everyone to have watched it. So I think they'll repeat some of those beats. Like,
okay.
And Star Wars always does this. Like, everyone always acts like surprised, like, oh, we already did that. It's like, we already did all of it. We're just repeating New Hope over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, what is it? Lone Wolf and Cub. It's like every movie, and we still love it.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready for the backlash.
This is gonna be an interesting one because, like you said before, this is Filoni with his character doing his story. So, what are people gonna? If there is backlash, it's not like, oh, they don't understand the character. Oh, if they had Filoni doing it, it will make sense. This is his story, so it's gonna be interesting to see if there is backlash. What do people complain about?
And also, pushing back on the other way, like, I always get a little bit grumpy when people are like, oh, they didn't mention this. Oh, they should have said that name. Oh, like if people walk around saying like constantly, like, oh yes, remember the last time we were together and that happened, and tell the entire story of everything that happened. Like, that's
it's in a certain point of view that I'm reading, they sometimes just throw out a name. Like I'll say Ferrix comes out. It's just because when we went to Ferrix, and like, okay, I know that's the planet of Andor. It doesn't add anything to this, but okay. Maybe don't mention Satine this time, and we'll be happy. Do you?
Eyes rolling eternally.
Yes.
Oh, wait, we have people in the chat talking. Okay.
If you're in the chat, hit that
yeah, Tony's saying, I think that Darth Vader / Anakin angle will be what most of the casual viewers won't really understand. It's weird because every time it happened to me with my dad and my fiance. They were like, "Oh, who is that? Oh, that's Ahsoka's apprentice." Ahsoka didn't have Anakin didn't have an apprentice. Like, I'm like, oh, there's this cartoon show I watched. But
I think most people know by now.
I think they will lean heavily on it, though. Like, I think if there's like one thing, they'll be like, "Look at this! It's the Anakin thing." Like, I'll bet anything.
I have my Anakin. That's my last question. How Anakin's gonna show up here?
But,
Anything else from the chat?
hi, Jacqueline.
Ooh, how you doing?
So,
So speaking about, because Sabine seems to be like the secondary character in this show so far. She's very heavily shown, and her story. A lot of people are. Where do you fall in that? Is she force sensitive? Is she just training how to use a lightsaber because she's used the dark saber before? She's used a lightsaber when she. I mean, she didn't use a lightsaber apart from the dark saber in that Rebels episode, but Bo-Katan uses a lightsaber. So just because someone is training with a lightsaber doesn't mean they're force sensitive. Do you think we're seeing a push that she's going to be? And where do you fall into the, yay, that's cool, to no, this doesn't make sense because it hasn't been hinted before? And then I'll give you mine afterwards.
It's funny because I'm the kind of person who will punch at the table and be like, anyone can use the Force. Like, that's the point of it. Like, it's accessible to everyone. Yeah. But every time a new person is revealed to be force sensitive, I'm like, ooh, why? No. Ooh. Yeah. So I know it's contradictory. I think they're telegraphing it. I can't make up my mind if they're telegraphing it to like get us ready or to like mislead us to something else.
Will be another Finn where everyone thought that Finn was going to be the force sensitive Jedi, and then he wasn't until the end.
He's force sensitive though.
You know what I mean? He wasn't the Jedi. Anyway,
I still think that's like one of the coolest like things ever. Like having Rey be like catching the lightsaber and being like,
my favorite part of the whole movie.
It's me.
So I don't know where I fall. I'll say I don't want her to be force sensitive. Like everyone can use the Force is in all of us, but to be a Jedi and to be force sensitive in a way that you can exploit it, basically, or use it to your benefit. Exploit it sounds
like the path.
I know. The path of the open hand. What did I just say?
What's wrong with you?
The closed fist. I don't think, and again, to be a Jedi, you gotta start from very young. If you start late, you might fall into the dark side. That Darth Bane, the first Darth Bane book.
She doesn't have to be a Jedi. Like,
yeah, I don't think she's going to be a Jedi. She might.
Oh, not at all.
Have, I don't know, 793 midichlorians, and she can do a little bit of Force stuff. I think she's just training to use the lightsaber. Maybe, like I just mentioned, when she fought Shin Hati, when she has the long hair, she got beat up. And then she talks to Ahsoka, and Ahsoka kind of, hey, you need to kind of Karate Kid style and needs to train her a little bit.
What if this is like a Dragon Ball thing? It's all in the hair. It's like when she has long hair, she's not force sensitive, but then she powers up, gets short hair, like boom, like Super Saiyan Sabine.
Well, Super Saiyan Sabine will be pretty sweet. So I think it's just a training montage, basically.
Nothing would make me check out of Star Wars like more than this.
Force powers, power ups.
Oh, this is Super Jedi level 5, Sabine, because she trained for 10 years exactly.
But she has that training remote. See, she knows the Force must be free.
The Force must be free.
Man, as much as I complain about the Pass of the Open Hand, they've made its way in.
Man, I'm seeing that they're making like a Ahsoka Black series that looks exactly like the Book of Boba Fett Ahsoka Black series, and I want it. Like,
you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing that we're doing a live show and you're on your phone shopping for stuff.
For Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I should have. I was gonna bring my Ahsoka thing. It's back there.
I have an Ahsoka in some box over there.
Yeah, it's back there.
It's fine.
All right.
Star Wars.
Let's go to let's talk about the villains a little bit, if you want. Let's talk about Thrawn. We finally got a look at Thrawn in that second trailer, I think. The first one was kind of grainy. How are you liking Thrawn? Just the look right now. We got Mikkelsen, I won't say Matt, but Lars Mikkelsen is back. We all wanted him. I'll be honest, it looked weird when I saw him the first time. It just looked like he was painted blue and that was it. I seen another shot. It looks a little bit better. There's the ridges on the forehead. But I think it will be, at least for myself, which I'm complaining a little bit about the look, it will be like the Grand Inquisitor. He didn't look great on the trailers. He looked great on the show. So I'm banking on that. There's still time to kind of do some touch-ups, but It looked kind of just blue paint over Mikkelsen.
I was actually watching Kenobi not long ago, and I still don't like how he looks, but that performance was so good.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about Thrawn. He looks exactly as I expected a 6-foot man painted in blue looks.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And that's fine. Like what I was expecting, like this macho dude, like oh yes, I'm Rambo but blue. Like no. And if we ever get live action Mark Monroe, he will probably look ridiculous too.
He's an alien. They can make different things. I mean,
and Thrawn is an alien,
but he's like 95% human looking.
He's a humanoid. So is Markian though.
Yes. The mask.
He's like hot or something. I don't know.
It's Markian.
I'm not gonna get into that. So the occlusion zone. Yeah, no, I like how he looks. I'm way more interested in the performance, and he already did Thrawn, so I'm thinking it's gonna be great.
Yeah. For Lars, I've been watching The Witcher. Do you watch The Witcher?
I liked season 1, but I fell off with season 2, and then they announced that Henry Cavill was leaving, so I was like, I'm not gonna invest time in this. And then my girlfriend was very dissatisfied with the ending of season 3, so I'm like, I'm fine.
I love The Witcher. Okay. Can I tell you the plot? No, it's hot people using magic, fighting creatures.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Yeah, and cool, weird songs. So that's all I care about. But Lars Mikkelsen is there as this mage, and he has that crappiest beard, like goatee. Here you go. Just put that glue, that dead rat on your face, and you're good to go. So he goes from that to just get it painted blue or just CGI blue. So I feel a little bad for him. Where's the performance, like you said? So I'll get over it. But it's difficult. A lot of people were kind of, how are they going to do this when it was announced that it was going to be live action? Thrawn, I mean, the red eyes, the blue paint. How's it going to look? Because it's a weird look. It's one thing on a comic page or on a book cover to see him in live action. But how much Thrawn do you think we'll get in this season? Will just be walking around saying a couple of cool stuff, or will he be prominently shown?
No, I don't expect him to be like that prominent in the show. I think he'll show up like once or twice, maybe 3. I don't know. I know, for example, people like Tony are expecting that everything from his books that hasn't been wrapped up will be wrapped up and addressed in this story. I'm not expecting
episode 2.
I'm not expecting that at all. Like 0. Like I don't expect, and I don't expect a reference to Aralani. I don't expect a reference to Eli Vanto. I don't expect.
You imagine if they say Thrawn is there, where's my Skywalker? And people are going, what the hell?
You remind me of Shiri. Was it Shiri? I can't
remember. Shiri's the. But in your mind, they mention Skywalker, so it's not Luke, it's not Anakin. It's the way they travel through hyperspace.
Bring me a Skywalker.
And people,
and that's Ezra. Like,
he might. He used Anakin once as a Skywalker. So if people think, and I'll be there a little, that people are going to be thrown off not seeing Rebels. No one's going to know who the hell Thrawn is if they never read the books, didn't see Rebels, and that's fine. It's a new character. We're just going to go crazy for him. So, Thrawn, same thing. I don't think he'll be too much in it. I'm expecting a season 2 of this, and of course the movie, and that's where he'll be prominently shown. So he'll maybe show up once or twice, and probably a cliffhanger at the end. We'll talk about that later.
I don't expect this to have a season 2, but I'm really thinking that they're just setting up Thrawn for the movie, and that's why we have all these other villains.
We'll talk about the villains now, but Tony's
sorry,
too happy.
I know, Tony. I love you, man.
Yeah.
Miss you.
Hey, I'll say he threw you under the bus a couple of times last week, but that's fine.
I'll throw him under the bus. Fuck him. Yeah, I said it. I said the word.
Sorry, children.
It's not like we're getting monetized anyway.
I know, and now our chances of never. So let's talk about the villains. Balon, Skull, right, and Shin Hati. Are they ex-Jedi? Are they mercenaries? Are they Inquisitors with orange lightsabers? Are they just wannabe acolytes?
No, he's Anakin from another timeline.
Because the war between worlds, and
And
That
that's
maps
how it
thing
works. And
makes,
that
and
guy
then
from
she's
YouTube,
Padme.
from YouTube told me it was Anakin from another one.
That guy from YouTube, I'm gonna find him. Um, I don't know what to expect from them. We see them attacking this Republic cruiser. We see him talking to Ahsoka in this star map or whatever. We see them asking where's Thrawn or what's gonna happen when we find Thrawn. They're with Morgan Elsbeth. So they're basically not working with Thrawn, but they're trying to find Thrawn. Why? I don't know. Why do they want to find Thrawn, Oti? Because I don't see them wanting to bring back the Empire, these two guys, so we don't know enough about them or anything really about them.
I don't know, man. Like,
what's the cool thing about this? We have no idea what's going on.
This is what I love about these kinds of Star Wars trailers. Yeah. Like, they show us a lot of things, and here you go, eat the cake. But I have no context for it whatsoever, so I have no idea what's happening. Like, again, I love that I don't know who these guys are, and the whole Filoni thing, like, oh, those orange lightsabers, I wonder why. Yeah. It's beyond interesting for me, like, and the whole like if we hadn't seen them like looking for Thrawn, I would be like, oh, maybe they're like something obscure from the World Between Worlds. But if they are looking for him, then why? I don't. I'm just gonna go on a train of thought. Like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I have no idea. We have no idea, and I guess this Baylan guy knew Anakin because in one of the trailers he said, "Oh, Anakin spoke highly of you." But I think they said it's on the Star Wars databank, so maybe someone can correct me. I think they're mercenaries now, which is just a random word that can mean anything. But we don't know anything about their backstories. Probably not Jedi, but we don't know. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play out and why are they not just fighting Ahsoka. I still go to Shin and Sabine having a previous fight. I don't know. Maybe they were there when the space whales took Ezra.
And like, why Thrawn? Like,
right? It doesn't...
Like,
they maybe heard the word Skywalking and Thrawn and said, oh, he has the power.
And where is he? I don't think he's lost anymore because Paleon knows where he is. And he's like part of the new
what was it?
The Shadow
Council. Yeah.
He was like a part of it. But like, where is he? Why are people looking for him? And
so this is what excites me about this show. And that's why I say when we get all the Rebel stuff, I'm like, okay, that happened already. Give me all this stuff. And I know it's all connected. And I'll trust Filoni. Even though I sometimes don't, I'll trust him for this.
No, again, if I don't trust anyone more than him with these characters.
I'll give him that pass. So do you still trust your speculation that Inquisitor Marok is just a fake name for Secret Inquisitor Ezra? Or who's Marok? Is it Varys? Is it a brand new character? The eighth brother? People are saying maybe it's him.
There is not a reality where that is not Ezra.
Okay, you're sticking to it.
Doubling down.
All right. So we're not gonna
Who do you think it is? Like, I'll be honest. I'll be 1,000% honest. I just think it's that Inquisitor that fell in Malachor when.
So the eighth brother.
Yeah, I think it's him, but it's Ezra. Like, I want it to be Ezra, so
it'll be pretty cool if it's Ezra.
It would be like a very 1990s plot twist. Like, oh no, oh the mask, oh,
it's like the Red Hood in Batman.
Precisely.
Why? I don't think it's the eighth brother because they called him Inquisitor Marok. Why are they just putting a name now instead of just saying this is the eighth brother? It's not like a big surprise. Oh, it's the eighth brother. Shocker. I think it's a new character. I'm going to go with new character.
So, I mean, in the databank thing, it said like, oh, he was once an Inquisitor, but now, so maybe he's like, screw that numbering convention.
Okay,
this is my name. Like, I mean, the Empire is over. And the
you can do what you want.
The Inquisitorius is over, so...
Getting your name as an Inquisitor, your number, is a big deal. If you read Rise of the Red Blade, when Akari's Iskat finally decides to, and this I'm gonna spoilers now. When she decides to call herself that 13th sister, there's a reason why she finally feels that she's ready to
Oh,
embrace
Alberto.
her.
Oh,
What?
Alberto, you naive little boy. I'm about to crush your dreams. I'll
Okay.
bet you anything in my apartment that Filoni has not read that book and does not care about that.
I'm gonna call him, and I'm gonna.
You
Really,
better read it, Dave.
you haven't read Iska Akari's stories when she fell to the dark side because the Emperor, when Order 66 came and they were gonna kill her, and she said, "You know what? I ain't gonna die for this Jedi. You're gonna promise me freedom to me for me to check my past. Yes,
And that's
then
how
I'll be an
they spoil
Inquisitor."
the book without warning whatsoever.
I say it was gonna be spoilers, and it's been out for like 2 months now.
No, it hasn't. It's been out for like 3 weeks.
Feels like 2 months.
You read it a while ago.
It came out. Yeah, we're digressing. Barry's Offie. People still think she's coming back. She has a lot of unfinished business with Ahsoka. I don't want her to be. People thought that she was redeemed and she saved Grogu. No. People, you don't remember? People said that was her because in that flashback, some of the things on
there
the
was a
walls,
marking on the wall. They're
yeah.
similar to her. Okay.
Could she be this Inquisitor? I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't know. Again, just forget about Barry. She left. She's done. We don't need everyone's story from beginning to end.
I hope we get some resolution on that because Dave has teased it like, oh, interesting. Oh yeah, that's
Isn't that his answer to everything?
I have
interesting.
I have a plan for that. He has a plan for everything. He really is the heir apparent to George Lucas. But I mean, I really like Barasafi. So I would like her to show up. Like, if it's revealed that Inquisitor is Barris, I won't like eye roll at all.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes. I don't want to say makes sense, but it's one of those characters. If it's a new character, I think there's a high probability that it's her.
I have a question. What if the show begins with the battle in Malachor, and that Inquisitor falling, and the mask is like shattered, and it is Barasafi, and she's seeing Ahsoka up there, and she's like,
you must.
Also, but I also kind of always think like people are like, oh, she's gonna get her revenge on Ahsoka. And it's like the one who framed Ahsoka was Barris. Like Ahsoka did nothing wrong to Barris.
Yeah. It's nothing to do with her.
Oh, she'll come back and get that
revenge. Ahsoka,
like,
why didn't you?
What? Like you framed me. I was like, it wasn't me. And
yeah, she might just come to apologize. Hey, I'm sorry that they blamed you.
Yeah, maybe that's what's gonna happen. Like they're gonna meet up, and he's like, "I'm ready to fight." He's like, "I don't want to fight." It's like, "Oh, you're an Inquisitor." Like, no, wait, it's me. It's Barris. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing.
20 years of baggage.
I only have a red lightsaber, and I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, it's spinning uncontrollably.
Help me.
So we said that Thrawn might not show up that much. Let's talk about the other one that's with him, Ezra. We only seen the little hologram of him. I don't think we'll get too much of Ezra. Even less than Thrawn, I think. We'll have that little thing. We'll get maybe 1 or 2 scenes close to the end. I don't think we're getting that much of Ezra.
I disagree. I think we're going to see Ezra earlier than we think.
Okay, interesting.
I think it'll be kind of like a Mando season 3 thing. Like the baptism. We're gonna episode 2. It's over. Then what is the season about?
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get something like that.
Okay, I mean, I'll take that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'll take it. It'll be cool to see where Ezra is.
If not, do you think Ezra then will be like the main character of the movie?
Nah, I don't think Ezra.
Then that's exactly why I think he'll be like prominent on this.
Well, he might. I don't think they. I don't. Again, I don't have enough knowledge of this series to say that he's gonna be saved by the end of this series.
You think he'll die?
No. But he might still be with Thrawn by the time we get to the movie. I don't know. They save him right now.
But that for me is weird because that would going into a Star Wars movie in the theater with that threat lingering, like, oh, we gotta save Ezra. That I think that has a potential to confuse people in quotation marks, because unless the show is like, let's catch everyone up on the cartoons and set you up for the movie, which I don't think it'll be. I don't really see them going into a movie with that plot point lingering, with that being like one of the big plot points.
I don't know. We'll see. I just had that thought now. I don't think. I don't know. I don't see him being that prominent in the show. I hope I'm wrong. We see the Purgles. Maybe they find a way to go find him quickly, but I'm not sure.
I mean, but do we expect him like 20 years later to still be with the Purgles? I know it's not 20 years. It's like 10.
Still, do you think he's gone from Thrawn? He's not with Thrawn anymore. He's somewhere else.
I think they're together.
Okay.
I mean, he's like, no, man, that kid like fell off the ship. I don't have no. I've been looking for him. Too. You can help
jump out the window. So speaking about catching everyone up,
just a quick comment. I saw someone the other day commenting at me like, "Oh, I just saw a plot point, like a blooper in the Rebels finale." I'm like, "What? Oh, they go into hyperspace, but the windows are all broken, so that can't be because then they'll fly out." I'm like, Star Wars physics works however the script needs it to work. Like,
dude, if you're putting science and physics into Star Wars, you're doing Star Wars wrong.
Oh, look who's here, Alberto.
Who's here?
Roberto Venegas.
Ooh, Roberto.
I miss you, man. I hope you're doing well.
I know. Hope Roberto's fine. I see right now. I finally mounted. It's not how you say it. Anyway, I finally put your painting up. Let me see if I can just. There it is. Who's that throne?
He sent me one that I have somewhere, but I don't have enough space to put it up.
That's the one. You said I'll take anything from your places. I can't remember what you said. I'll take that one from you.
Okay. Most important question is whether or not we'll get a helicopter lightsaber move, and I think we will. I hope so.
Finally, we need to finally get it.
They need to do.
Oh, they ruined my childhood. What was I going to ask? Oh, so we know this is leading up to the movie Thrawn, Ahsoka. What's his face? Ezra. Everything's gonna connect. Do you expect anyone from the Mandoverse to show up in Ahsoka? Either Din Djarin, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan. Do you expect any of them to show up in this show?
Oh, Alberto, we're so getting that. Ahsoka Tano, I am Din Djarin. I am on a mission to.
You think he's showing up? I'm gonna say no, but okay.
I'm gonna say no because this is like Dave's story, so I don't think he'll let Din hijack it. But I'm not like that confident that he's not showing up. I'm having thoughts. Like, I really want this to leave us on a cliffhanger that will be wrapped up in the movie. So what if it's like, did you watch Across the Spider-Verse?
No.
I was thinking of an ending very similar to that one.
Okay.
That would just be like...
I don't think he's showing up. I think the way, and again, it depends. All these trailers and promotion don't seem to point where he can kind of fit. I still think we're getting this show. We'll get Mando season 4, whatever that looks like, and then we'll get the movie. I don't think we're going from Ahsoka straight to the movie. I think there'll be another one in the middle. And in that one, maybe Ahsoka shows up and everything starts coming together to then go to the movie. Plus, of course, we got Skeleton Crew in the way. But I don't think that Din Djarin is showing up in this show. And I'm
very curious on why they haven't addressed this on what's happening first. I wonder if they even know. Like,
yeah. I mean, right now everything's up in the air.
I mean, but like nothing has really changed. Like the only thing the strike is going on, but it just pushed everything back like 3 months.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want some clarity on that.
Something that's never clear and we have no clarity on it. It's the world between worlds and how it works. We did a show about it. Do you think the world between worlds is gonna come into play? And I not just a mention, like they go into the world between worlds and change something.
No, I don't think it'll be like that deep in it. I think if anything will get mentions of it, maybe it's even kind of a MacGuffin, like oh, the bad guys want it or something.
Yeah.
But just muddies the water so much.
Yeah, maybe that's what Balon wants from Thrawn.
Yeah,
Maybe he thinks that Thrawn knows how to get to it. I really don't want it. Yeah, mention of it. People wanted to get there. Don't bring it into this. Don't.
It's like the big elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do with this? And I kind of think it's something you should address. But just be Dave, please be careful.
Again, we said on that show, if someone's gonna bring it and know what to do with it, it's Dave because he created it. But I really don't want it. What's Roberto adding?
The less we get within the world between world, the better. Fear it will get overused. Yeah, I trust Dave Filoni with it. I just don't want the discourse around it.
Yeah, I don't want it. Hopefully not. Oh, I'll say no. A hesitant no, they'll be there. All right, let's start wrapping up a little bit. Jason Sindula. People are saying that they saw him in the co-pilot seat on one of the TV spots. He's there with
a little
Hera.
Hand. There was a little hand once.
I think it was the back of the head that I saw.
No, in last year's celebration, they had like a teaser, and I saw it on the potato cam, and we see a little hand.
How is he just in one scene? Just hey, remember when Hera had a child?
Remember when I had green hair and dyed it brown?
And half of his ears were green for some reason. But here's a Lego. I think he's there for one scene and that's it. He'll get dropped off in Yavin or somewhere.
I mean, maybe he's just in every scene Hera's in, like, and
just there, just hanging.
Yeah, like it's her kid. Like, why would she leave him? Like, oh, stay here, kid. Like,
because there's when she's addressing Mon Mothma and the whole New Republic, there's a war coming. He's Mom, I want my snackies.
He's like 10 years old, Alberto. Like, calm down.
I get a 10-year-old. That's what they do.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you can just leave him.
I think highly of 10-year-olds. They're serious people.
Ugh, okay, have that thought for when you get there. For Jason, he'll be there. He won't play a big part in this, but he'll show up.
No. I don't think he'll be like one of them. I don't know. We'll see.
No. How much will how much politics do you think are gonna play into this? Is it gonna be like serious politics? I don't mean like 100% like Andor, but we see Mon Mothma there. I forgot the name of Siono is there. A bunch of people.
I don't think I don't think Mon Mothma will be in it that much, honestly.
So you think just that one scene of Hera talking to them about
I think
issues out there?
Okay. I think so.
I hope it's a little bit more, but I don't know.
But again, they're doing a lot, and it's still the Ahsoka show. So how does Mon Mothma factor into it? Again, I think that's a movie thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think we'll be getting the War Between World, at which we wouldn't. But Dave is gonna Dave. Either I blow Milk Mama, and I think we're on the same page. I had something and I forgot talking about the politics.
You said we were wrapping up, and we haven't talked about two big Skywalker elephants in the room.
All right, I was gonna talk about Kanan first, but
let's talk about Kanan then. Like,
you don't want to talk about Kanan? You want to jump into Skywalkers?
What are we gonna? He's dead.
So, dude, we're speculating. Is there gonna be a Force Ghost Kanan, a flashback Kanan? Maybe. Kanan shows up to Ahsoka recast because Freddie Prinze wants nothing to do with Star Wars.
He wants to have sex in Star Trek. No, I don't think we'll get Kanan.
We'll get a mention, but yeah,
for sure.
All right, so let's talk about Skywalkers. Anakin is a shoo-in. We know he's gonna be there. Force Ghost or flashback? Which one do you prefer?
Force Ghost.
I prefer flashbacks. Okay.
Why?
Because I don't want the scene
let's push the story forward, god damn it.
I know. I'm not a fan of Snips and Sky Guy. I mention every time we talk about.
You want to go to when they were Snips and Sky Guy?
Yes, because I don't know.
You just want to complain. You just want to say,
basically,
like, oh, they did it. They did what
they
I don't
did it.
like.
I told you. Damn it.
I don't
But it
think
makes sense. It makes sense that he shows up as a Force ghost to talk to Ahsoka.
Even more with that. Oh, Anakin spoke highly of you. Like maybe she's like, who the hell is this guy? And why were you talking about me with him?
It can, because I understand that trailers are cut however they want, but she replies with, I don't want to focus on my past, or I don't want to talk about my past. And then 2 episodes later, Anakin's there to talk about their past and try to patch things up or something.
I mean, but that's like a Star Wars thing. I don't want this. And sometimes destiny is not what you want.
Do you think she'll need that? Like Luke needed Yoda at the end of The Last Jedi to kind of bring him out of his funk? Do you think we might be in that situation that Anakin shows up when she needs someone?
I don't think she'll need it, but I think that's that's like one of Anakin's most personal relationships, and it's weird because it's like it was like retroactively put in, but it's become such a huge part of Star Wars now and the fandom that I think they kind of have to address it. I think it's kind of like the whole. We know more about the relationship of Ahsoka and Anakin than we know about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and we were like, "Oh, he better show up! Like, he better be there."
Yeah. I mean, all right. I love Anakin, so it makes sense. I'll be happy to see him. It's just a little sentence that's gonna drop me out of it. But I'll pick me back up.
What little?
I've never liked the Sky Guy. Oh, you're just a snip, so I'm gonna call you Snip. Yay! I never liked it from the movie, and it kept going. And it's like, you're like 40 now. You don't need to call each other that. What is gonna happen?
What makes you think that's gonna happen?
Because it's gonna happen. I think it's something that most fans expect. It's something that most fans of that relationship really enjoy, is that banter between the two of them. It's just a nickname that never clicked with me for either of them.
Ahsoka's like in a very different point in her life. I don't see her like turning into 15-year-old Ahsoka, you know.
I mean, I don't mean that she's gonna be this wide-eyed kid.
Bro.
Yeah, but it might be. You just hear from the background. Hey, Snips, and then she turns up.
I can imagine a scene like in a fireplace, like she being like turned around and hearing like, "Hey, Snips," and then she being like, "Sky Guy." Like, you have a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, like Han Solo showing up to Ben Solo in Rise of Skywalker. He just hears, "Hey, kid," and you knew at that point. So I think it would be something like that.
It was pretty. So
it was, and it broke me. I cried there.
I still get emotional when that happens.
All right, so you said 2 Skywalkers. What do you think? Luke is showing up also?
Is he?
CGI Luke, kill me.
I honestly don't mind it. Like I just want to take everyone back to when we first saw like the first version of that, and everyone freaked out like, "Oh my god, what is this?" And now everyone's like, "That never looked good." Like,
oh no, I know.
I hated it. Like, I never really liked it. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Like, okay, like if he's gonna show up, like, I'm not sure. I wouldn't hate it if he does, but I'm fine if he doesn't. Yeah. I'm still a firm believer that the whole Luke and Ahsoka meeting is just like too big a moment for Star Wars for us to see happen.
Yeah. So you think, okay, you're talking about maybe this being their first meeting, if this happens before Book of Boba Fett? I don't think we'll see that.
No, I that's what I'm leaning. I think it's too big a moment.
Yeah. He'll just take over the show. Luke is one of those characters that shows up.
Of everything.
Yeah, so we don't need him.
It's like he's the main character of the whole thing.
maybe he is. Remember when we were talking about Mandalorian and those Praetorian guards showed up and kicked everyone's butt? And I'm like, in the movie, that's when Luke is gonna show up and help out. And no.
The Praetorian guards, they were so lovely.
They give us and they take it. So if Luke is coming, it'll be in the movie, because that's when you need him, in this big movie to bring everyone back. I don't think you need him now. Hopefully he doesn't show up. All right, so you said that you don't think there's gonna be season 2. I don't know. It depends. I don't.
I don't
With
know.
the movie there, I don't think so. Right? With the movie coming, being probably a continuation of this, I don't think we'll have a season 2. At least not before the movie comes out.
I still kind of think this is gonna lead us into the movie. Honestly, like I don't think Mando 4 is coming before the.
Okay. All right, Oti. Anything we?
Oh, one last thing. Tamura Morrison. Will he?
Oh, okay. Captain Rex.
Captain Rex. I hope so. I really hope so.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
I love the relationship, honestly.
Yes.
You're just a grumpy old man. I was like,
Dude, Rex, I keep saying Rex is my favorite clone. I just keep, at some point, you're too old for this. I'm getting too old for this.
What if we get like senile Rex? Like,
this thing shows up with his armor ready to fight. It's like, just hang it up. Thanks, but you do more harm than good. Just say your goodbyes.
The people are with me.
Oh man, maybe we should have Tony back instead of you next time.
Call him.
No, that's fine. All right, so let's wrap up. We still have a little bit more Ahsoka to talk about. I just made this up, but it'll be on our other segment that we call, where is it? Because I forgot everything. Rebel Thoughts.
Well done. You're a rebel now.
We're all rebels. All right, so our friend Brennan, he sent out. So yes, what are people excited for in Ahsoka? Brennan at Brennan Mystical said it would be really interesting to see Thrawn and Pelion working together like they did in the old Legends novel. This goes a little back to what you said. Tony wants anything that has happened with Thrawn to kind of be wrapped up. Pelion showed up in Mando season 4, season 3, whatever it was. How much of an impact will Pelion and the Shadow Council have?
I think it depends on how much Thrawn shows up. I think we might get him maybe in. Again, I don't think Thrawn is gonna be in it that much. I think that's all gonna lead us to the movie. But if Thrawn shows up, maybe he'll be like there for one scene. I do expect that for the movie, Pelion will be a prominent figure. It's interesting because I don't expect Filoni to tie directly into the Thrawn books, but I do see him taking more from the Legends books, from Heir to the Empire, that trilogy.
So we've seen, what's his name? Aman Esfandi, I think the actor playing Ezra. He keeps posting pictures of Dark Force Rising and all the old Thrawn books.
Called it.
Yeah. So it might be interesting more for the movie, but do you think we're getting more cheese? Are we going to the cheese ascendancy and getting more cheese?
Not in this show, no.
Okay.
0. I just, again, I feel like I'm always saying these things. Like,
and I'm the grumpy one.
This is the Ahsoka show, not the Ahsoka and Thrawn and the Shiz Ascendancy and
it's
the
sequel show.
And the sequel to Rebels and the sequel to Thrawn Treason and I don't think it's this. It's the Ahsoka show.
All right, we'll see. All right,
I just see people with too many expectations going into it. Like,
in Star Wars, you are nuts. All right, so Tony at Figueroa 93 says Ahsoka having a one-sided conversation with Morai or Morai answers.
I kind of think of this like when I'm talking to my dog and something like, what if she answers like, hey, wanna go pee-pee? See.
I was watching some old SNL shorts on YouTube, and there's one this dog translator, and the dog is just a racist Trump supporter, and just
I remember this.
That was gonna be one of those. Long live the Empire! And I was always like, whoa.
Oh, Morai, you're such a beacon of the light side. I love Darthane.
I don't know. Morai will be there. She has to. I don't know if she'll be talking.
I just hope she's just like, I kind of hope it's like how they did it in Mando, where she's like, if you look closely, she's there. Like, let's not have her like front and center. Let's just like find the Morai in the frame.
Just an episode. Like The Simpsons when Homer is that goes chilly and he's following this coyote. They'll be here just trying to find Mora.
Yeah.
All right, Oti, we kind of finished with our Star Wars talk. You want to do a quick War Between Fandoms talk?
Sure.
Maybe. Let's do a quick one.
You want it.
Yeah, I added something to the intro I want you to see. I don't know, it's nothing. You love it. War Between Fandoms. The Enterprise. You had to see the Enterprise because I had to put it. So let's talk very quickly. Barbenheimer. I watched Oppenheimer. I haven't watched Barbie yet. My wife wants to see it. She's not a big fan of going to a movie theater, so we'll watch it when it's available on demand or whatever. You saw Barbie. You enjoyed Barbie. Real quick, your thoughts on the movie.
I loved it. Okay, no, I didn't love it. I really liked it. I know a lot of people are like, this movie changes. I don't think this movie changes everything. I felt myself constantly throughout the whole movie being like, who the hell greenlit this? Like, who read the script and said, you know what, Greta Gerwig, here's $100 million. Go make your movie. Because it's like the least studio vision thing they could have made. There's just like one story beat that I think it was like the studio like, put it there. But I'm shocked that the movie got made, honestly.
All right.
And in a good way. It's very funny. It has a ton of heart. It has a lot to say. And a lot of people are clinging to specific things, specifically specific groups.
Yeah.
But I think the movie pushes back on a lot of different things, and it's funny that in a Barbie movie, patriarchy is kind of a character.
I've heard.
And it's like as important as Ken and Barbie in the movie, which again continues to shock me. But again, I'm happy that we're getting these kinds of movies that, yes, it's an IP, but it's still a creator coming in and just riffing on the whole thing and getting a chance to tell the story she wants to tell. And also the movie looks awesome. Like that's the kind of set I would have loved to go and visit, because the houses, the cars, it's all very, very fun. I really liked it.
All right. I said before I'm not the target audience for it. Nothing against it. I'll watch it when it's here. I wasn't gonna spend $50 between popcorn and tickets and all this stuff, so I wasn't gonna go to it. But how much money it's made, all the reviews or most of the reviews are extremely positive for different things. So I want to see it, to see what the big deal around it was.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. I've seen some people not push back, but a lot of it's, the way, like you said, talks about the patriarchy and all that. And some people saying, not right-wingers that have just gone nuts about it, but saying it doesn't need to always be women against men where they want to be the main
that's the kind of thing that makes me a little bit grumpy, because the movie addresses like the whole of it. I do think they kind of fumbled their message at the end of it, but still, like, it's very heavy-handed. It's not subtle in any way. But there's a lot of people like, I didn't need that message. I know it. I treat women with respect. Like, okay, cool, but it's not for you, and that's fine. Like, and there's a very specific moment in the movie where something is said, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you see, it's so heavy-handed," but a lot of people cheered and clapped. And again, not everything has to be the Avengers coming out and people losing their minds. People can lose their minds over other things. It's fine.
About Samwise Gamgee telling Frodo, "I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. Don't you live in Samwise Gamgee?" And I don't mean to. All right, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays in my house. Between me, my wife, 13-year-old daughter, 10-year-old son. See how it plays there.
I don't know how your kids. It's a very adult movie.
Dude,
not in a sex or that kind of the messaging. Like I kind of feel like parents, like I think of parents taking their kids to that movie and then their kids leaving bummed. Like, what was that? What is patriarchy?
We are very open with our kids with things like that. And if they have questions, we answer them. We don't say you're too young for this. So again, we do it in a way that they'll understand. So, and that's one of the good things of watching it at home, is that we can explain. So again, we'll see. And and people will say we're bad. You know what movie we saw yesterday for the first time? Cocaine Bear. And you know who wanted to watch it?
Oh, did you
My
like
daughter.
it?
My daughter wanted to watch it. We rented because she wanted to watch it, and we had a good time. It's nuts.
It's still one of my favorites this year.
It's just crazy.
Alden Ehrenreich is amazing in that movie.
Yeah. That bear falls on top of him. All right, so Oppenheimer.
Ooh.
Love Oppenheimer. Oh, Roberto's gotta go. Roberto, thanks for joining us. We gotta get you back here, maybe for an Ahsoka review or something. We need to get you in.
Yep.
Oppenheimer, Oti. Loved it. Liked it. 3 hours of too much science and math. You get a shirt, so I'm sure you loved it.
I'm pretty sure it's one of the best movies I have ever seen. I have no doubt in my mind. I have very little complaints. I think the biggest complaint about it was taken like out of it when I left the theater, because it's kind of that last hour.
Yeah,
the movie at those first 2 hours are so laser focused on what the movie is, and then that last hour, I think that for 45 minutes of it, I was like, wait, why is this still going on? Where are we going? But I think that by the end, they managed to wrap it up in a way that we're like, oh, okay, this is why we had to have this. So
another great performance, but by Alden Ehrenreich in that one.
Phenomenal performance by Alden Ehrenreich, and the guy that plays Bernard in the Santa Claus movies. But again, it's a masterpiece. Like I don't think it's my favorite Nolan movie, but I think it's his best movie. Like I saw a lot of tweets of people being like, "Oh, he's been training for this." And I was like, "Okay, let's see." But no, I kind of think he was.
Yeah,
like, but if anyone hasn't watched it, like, yeah, believe the hype. It's that good.
As a technical movie, and talking about movie making, it's one of the best movies I've seen. I can't knock anything about it.
The acting was
insane. Great. Cinematography, the music, in some points was a little too loud that you couldn't hear when they were talking. Very little spots, but it might be the theater also.
No, it's not the theater. Christopher Nolan has done this in every movie since The Dark Knight Rises, and it bugs the hell out of me. And in this movie specifically, it's very annoying because they're throwing out terms and concepts like you know what they are, and the music is muddying it all up, and you're like, what? The last line of the movie, Alberto, which is like the crescendo that everything builds to, I couldn't hear it. Like when everyone started standing up, I looked at my fiance. I was like, what did he say?
But in other parts, when after they use the actual bombs and he's walking into this place to talk to everyone, and everyone's stomping on their benches or whatever, and he's thinking about the bomb exploding, all that part was the sound design there was great. But I'll say it took me a little bit to get into it because all that, like 3 different time periods, and I wasn't sure the first 40 minutes, what's happening when is this is in black and white, but this is after, what's in color, so it took me, okay, I get it now. So I gotta watch it again, knowing what all the time periods are, to probably love it as much as everyone else. I'll probably give it like an 8.7 or 9, and when I watch it again, maybe it'll go up because I'm settled on where everything's going. It was a little bit jarring at first. That not interrogation, it's not
the deposition.
The deposition. It's kind of weird because it starts with the deposition. I think it's like I don't know what's going on. Then it goes to the black and white with Robert Downey Jr., and then we have the creation of the bomb and all that. So it took a while to get into it. That's my only complaint when I watched it that first time.
I think I got like onto it like very quickly, like maybe 20 minutes into it. But I do agree that was like one of my few complaints. Like at the beginning, again, it's a Christopher Nolan thing. Like the jumping around is very confusing. I think it does take a while for you to understand, the patterns and how to follow it. But once you do, I think it flows pretty well. Like when we're jumping, here we go. Like
it's fun. It's like I love Tenet. Do I know what's going on every time? I don't know.
No,
but it's a very entertaining movie.
I still think Tenet is his most underrated movie.
I love that movie, but you gotta Just forget about what's going on. Don't try to understand.
There are a lot of his movies that are underrated because people don't talk about them, but I think like people bash Tenet, and I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so to end with War Between Fandoms, I put that little Starship Enterprise there in the beginning of War Between Fandoms. We're gonna talk real quick about the season 2 finale of War Between Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I don't know if I want to do spoilers because it just happened a couple of days ago. Dude, you gotta go watch it. You gotta watch Strange New Worlds. Only 2 seasons. You don't need to know that much about Star Trek. If you know who Kirk is, who Spock is, and Uhura, you're fine. And they're not even main characters.
I know who Pike is.
But you know Pike. That's all. You don't need to know the whole history. Don't worry about it. Just go fresh.
Yeah, the thing is, it's hard because Paramount Plus is not available in Puerto Rico.
Okay. Yeah.
And they blocked the whole VPN thing. But I did see that you could get it through Amazon, so I'll maybe try that.
And season 1, I watch it on YouTube. They put the first full season on YouTube, and you can. That's where I watch it. I said I gotta get Paramount Plus just because I fell in love with it. So check if it's still there.
Yeah,
I want to say that they put season 2, at least some episodes. I saw them also on YouTube.
With Star Trek, I love like that new trilogy.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of everything that came before. I tried watching Next Generation during the pandemic.
Yeah,
it was just like too dated for me. Like, oh, Q is this menace. And I was like, really? That guy? Okay.
Q is the best. And he shows up in season 2 of Picard, and it's season 2 or season 3. I can't even remember now. Season 2, and I love him. I got teary-eyed about 2 80 or 90-year-old people.
I saw your thing.
It was great. But Strange New World, that's my thing. And this, again, you don't need to know that much about Star Trek. It's very episodic. So don't expect everything to connect every season. John Delancey. Yeah, the actor. Very episodic. There's things happening in the background that comes. It's very similar to Mandalorian season 3 that people were complaining, whoa, what's going on? This doesn't have to do with this. And there's a mention of this. It's very similar.
Okay.
So if you like episodic television with a big cast, so like 6 or 7, not main, Pike is the main character. There's episode that he doesn't show up, basically, and we don't care because that cast is so good and their own stories, their own arc are very entertaining. But the season 2 finale, I think, knocked it out of the park. It was a freaking cliffhanger, which I hate because I'm going to have to wait like 2 years for season 3 to come out. But they knocked it out of the park with the Gorn, which is the big bad for this show. It's a weird alien species. And everything, Spock, I love Spock in this show. Everyone that cast Spock has been great. Of course, Leonard Nimoy and whatever, I forgot his name from the J.J. Abrams movie, did a good Spock. And now Peck does a great Spock also. Cool. But nothing but highlights for me for Strange New Worlds. And this is a show that doesn't take itself seriously. And like I said, they do a musical episode. The week before that, it was very heavy PTSD and war, kind of not being able to get past all the horrors of war, and then follow with a musical episode that it makes sense. And then with this finale, even though it's very different genres, it makes sense for this show. It doesn't take itself seriously. And if you can get through that, you'll definitely enjoy it. And I can't wait for this. Cool. All right. So with that, we call it quits for our episode today. Oti, again, great having you back. Thanks for joining us again here on Radio Rebellion. And everyone on the chat that was here today, again, great. Thanks for seeing a lot of new people that we haven't seen in a while. Mo, Tony, of course, Blue Milk Mama, Roberto. And I saw someone we didn't highlight, a new person that showed. Let me see if I can find their comment. Scarif, of course, thanks for being here. Buck, Dale, Brennan, and I saw a comment from a new person. If you're still here, thanks for joining us. I'm trying to find it. Oh, where is it? Here we go. Mr. Spaltz or something. Mr. Spass World. Flash Ghost. I think we talk about Force Ghosts at the moment, but thanks to everyone for being here. You're still in the chat. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Make sure that you had clicked that like button and whatever. Oti, hasn't been. Let me say that again. It's been a long time since we've seen you. So where can people find you?
You can find me over at Instagram, Twitter, and Threads at EP Star Wars.
You don't want a Blue Sky invite code? I got like 5 now and no one wants them.
Oh, I wonder why.
Come to Blue Sky. We need more people.
I'm fine. Come to
All right,
Threads.
Radio. Maybe. Radio Rebel Pod on everywhere except Threads. And next week, at some point next week, I have my spoiler review of From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi, and then I'll start reading Tales of Light and Life, which comes out September 5th, which is right around the corner, and Ahsoka's coming in a few weeks. Next week, probably do a spoiler-free review of From a Certain Point of View here on the show. So we'll see how that goes. For Oti, for myself, thank you everyone. Stay safe. Be safe. May the Force be with you.